I know how it was like starting out with no information at all and to give as much free value as you can. Because where's the point in saying, oh, I've carried our e-commerce stuff from 100K a month to 1 million a month and saying something like that, but giving no free value. So I give the most free value as I can. So the people that see this can say, okay, Luca's interesting. He fits my style. I want to learn from him. What further information does he have? I want to start with him. So I think it's a win-win situation because the people see what I can give them and that I have a sales funnel and also helping people.
Yeah, it's very good for prospecting. And something I want to get into is networking in particular, because that's something I believe that you are very good at. Whether it's naturally or whether it's learned is what I want to understand. How do you go about networking? Let's say you have certain people, like when we were in the cigar lounge, and there's prominent people who park their Ferrari outside and you know they have a investment company, a real estate investment company. How do you go about cold approaching? Do you go from a tactical approach, like first touch point, just get seen in the right places, then reach out, see if they respond? How do you go about building up your network, one, as the first question, and the follow-up question to that would then be, how do you actually make your network useful? Because there's a lot of people who bump into or have numbers of people who can provide value, but actually using those contacts is a whole different story.
Yeah. I think the thing with networking is it's not like how to approach people. It's more like, what is your reputation? So there's quite interesting viewpoints you have to admit when you network. So the first thing is how to get to know people that drive a Ferrari. You can take your car and drive into theirs and then you get to know each other. No, just joking around. First of all, I think there's one mindset you have to shift into. There's a German saying that jeder zieht seine Hosen morgens gleich an. So everybody puts his trousers on the same way every morning. And I think that's one way I approach people, with respect, but also like just a normal guy. And hey, I know you have a big company, but you're a normal guy. Like me. What does it make? What makes you more valuable than me? Like, let's say this. And I think that's one way I approach people, especially in the cigar lounges. That's one way you can meet like high-level people, because within the cigar lounges, I don't know if it's like a tradition or something, but all the people smoking cigars are so open to the world. It's crazy. So you can literally go into a fucking community, sit in there, smoke a cigar at the corner of the room, then somebody enters the room and you can shout across the room, hey, nice to meet you. Let's have a nice session with cigar. And the person will, if he wants, speak with you like for 2 hours. You get to know him, This is crazy cheat code.
100%. And it's something I have been preaching since I started smoking cigars over a year ago. It is a networking cheat code, because the art of smoking a cigar, you have to relax. It's a meditative state. It's not like a cigarette where you can puff emit quickly. It's, you have to relax. You have to control your breathing. You have to wait 45 seconds to a minute 30 between puffs. You have to be in that state. And the whole idea of a cigar, the length of a cigar, is a conversation that you are committing to. If it's a long cigar, you will be there for an hour and a half. But me, I'm a slow smoker, 2 hours. And that is, you are committing to being in a conversation with whoever is there for that amount of time. And that's a universal rule amongst people in cigar lounges. And second, like you said, treating people as people. Everyone is a normal person. I have gone into that Kempinski cigar lounge at least 25 times with the goal of just experiencing a new cigar and understanding it. And I have ended up sitting next to 3 people. I've met a Bulgarian mafia boss. I've met people with real estate portfolios. I've met wealth fund managers. And they're just standard people who are out of nowhere. And all, cheat code, all the most interesting people will be the most plainly dressed.
Right.
That is definitely a cheat code. Yeah. No, but that was always my cheat code. And then I met someone with an Apple Watch on. And then I sat with him because there was no table yet. And then we started talking about it. And then he noticed my watch and it was like, okay, we got into watches. And then he was like, no, whenever I'm in Europe, I don't wear my nice watches because it's the same as like London, Paris, Germany, Munich, I trust a bit more, but he didn't. Ended up being like getting into the conversation, oh, he has 8 piece uniques from Vashel. And I'm like, Brother, what? 2 seconds later comes down, brings his entire watch roll, network, everything sorted, patented up.